Hello, and welcome into another video. Today is going to be a little different. Today we're going to be talking about uh, positivity in the Lego space, or specifically toxic positivity. Um, yeah, so just quick update. No Aldani this week. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, my parts order will be here. Um, However, it has not arrived yet, so unfortunately, that means that there is nothing that I can really do on Aldani right now. Um, so I thought this would be kind of a interesting response. So today we are going to be looking at a video and a clip of Brickmaster Hari or Harry. I'm not actually sure. Probably Harry. But we're going to be mainly looking at this video. Lego fans need to stop doing this. And then from there, um, we'll basically be responding to just a couple of his points, and using that as a jumping off point. I don't want to make it seem like I'm going after him specifically. It's just this video makes quite a few points that it would be good to respond to. Um, I'm sure he makes really good content, um, or if you like his content, I'm sure it's fine. I've seen some of his shorts, which I'll give him credit. His shorts don't do the thing that I've seen quite a few Lego shorts do, where they intentionally just get things wrong, and it's all for the purpose of comment farming, and it's a really gross practice that I really wish people wouldn't do, which he doesn't, so good for him on that. Um, but so before we jump into this video, I just wanted to talk about a quote from this video that I think is pretty telling of his mindset um, when he made this video. I have to disagree pretty hard, but so let's go ahead and we'll take a look at that.
Around you. What I've personally learned after
Sorry, we're gonna have to.
your love for Lego just because of the judgmental people around you. What I've personally learned after diving headfirst into my own enjoyment of the hobby is that the real reason those people are so critical is just because they lack the enjoyment they see you having with a couple of bricks and a little imagination. This is something I was enamored with when I was getting back into Lego in 2021.
See, I couldn't disagree more. Like this feels like such a weird like base level, like, oh yeah, you haven't actually thought about that a whole lot kind of take, because no, people are not critical of you, like, because they don't care, like that's not it, like, like, people aren't critical of like a new Lego set because they're like, oh well, like, I just can't force myself to enjoy it. Like, if I, it's kind of funny that the Rise of Skywalker Falcon is on here, but if I just pretended that I wanted it, then maybe I'd like it. Like, that's not how that works. And so it seems really weird to do that. But so let's go ahead and we'll jump into this video. Um, and we'll just start responding, I guess. Oh man, this is an ad. Maybe, maybe not. No, not BetterHelp, no.
There's a lot of negativity in the LEGO Star Wars space, and it's up for debate if that's a good or bad thing. Some think it's good to call out LEGO for their mistakes, and others are just happy LEGO Star Wars is still a thing. I've seen
So really hate that dichotomy, just right off the bat, because it's like, no, some people think it's a good thing to criticize them, framing it as, well, other people are just happy to enjoy it. It's like, well, no, other people don't like the fact that you criticize it. Like, you know, like, that is the opposite side of that coin. Like, you know, like, it feels really weird to me when people do this, and especially because we're 12 seconds into the video, and it's like, why would you do that? Why do you present, like, you know, oh, I'm going to present two things that are opposites, and then you don't do that. Like, that's, like, you've created a false dichotomy. That's what that is. If some people think it's a good thing to criticize Lego, then the other half of that coin is some people think it's a bad thing to criticize Lego. Like, it's not a matter of, well, yeah, some people criticize Lego, and then other people, they enjoy it. It's like, well, no, I'm sure that the people criticizing it enjoy it as well. Like, that, it's just such a weird, like, why would you create this false dichotomy? But whatever.
this negativity travel firsthand, from LEGO Star Wars sets and minifigures in general, to places that sell it like Bricks and Minifigs, and programs that support it like the LEGO Ambassador Network. Let's take a closer look at those three things and see where all this negativity is really coming from. Probably the most blatant example of negativity in the LEGO Star Wars space comes from the judgment of new LEGO Star Wars sets and the figures that come in them. We see it all.
I mean, yeah. More relevant products are going to be criticized more. Like, you know, like, it would feel really weird if you had reviews out that were like, man, the slits in, like, the original Clone Trooper helmets, those were really bad. Like, that was really awful. Like, you know, it's like, oh, okay, like, yeah, you're right, it was. Like, you know, I get why they did it at the time, and, like, now looking back, there's a certain charm to it, but, like, yeah, it was bad. I don't know why you'd expect to see more people saying that than more people talking about the new products. Like, obviously the Lego space has grown, and so as there are more people in the modern age of Lego, there are going to be more people talking about the new sets, and therefore more people criticizing the new sets. Like, that, I don't know why that's a hard concept.
All the time on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok in some instances. Nowadays, there are so many different people trying to make content about the theme on social media, and because of that, we hear a lot of different and biased opinions. To show you what I...
And that right there, it's like, what do you mean biased? Like, you went out of your way to say it. You went out of your way to say that we see a lot of different and biased opinions. I'd love to be given an example of what a biased opinion is. Because, you know, some people, not necessarily me, might say that the LEGO Ambassador Network encourages biased opinions. You know, while I don't think that's necessarily the case, you know, I could see the argument being made. And I suppose we'll get to that later in this video. But, you know, it just seems weird to say that, oh yeah, people criticizing LEGO Star Wars are biased when, you know, I don't know if there's a whole lot of examples for that, but we'll see.
Take for example the 501st Clone Battle Pack we got at the beginning of 2023. This set was the second one to come with helmet holes for clones. Many fans were hoping for an updated helmet design after disliking the clones in the 2022 ATTE, but
See, in that, I don't know that that's fair to, like, that's not why the criticism existed for the 501st Specialist Battle Pack. It didn't exist because people expected them to change the helmets from one set to the next. Like that, I'm pretty sure everyone was expecting the helmet holes. The problem was, and I'm sure we'll get a reference image in a second, but Lego purposely, like, they did false market it. Like, they put the antenna in the wrong hole because they knew that the antenna in the place that you have to put it looks bad. So people are going, oh, okay, well, so if it looks bad, it sounds like we needed a different, like, helmet mold. I think that's where the criticism is coming from. I don't think the criticism is actually coming from, well, we expected it to change, even though we know that Lego sets spend like a year or two in development. Like, it's like I don't think that's where the criticism came from. Again, like, if he has an example, I'd love to see it, but I have a hard time believing that exists.
Lego didn't make any update. Instead, they kept the helmet holes where.
Yeah, because you can actually see pretty clearly that that's where the helmet hole is. So the bottom of the antenna should be about right there. It is shifted down to right there, which is, if we go straight across, oh, look, it's where the helmet hole should be in that little nub there. But the problem was that they didn't want to change the printing on the, which, I can understand. They didn't want to change the printing on the helmet, and they wanted to use it for a visor. The problem is that I think they should have just made a Phase 2 visor that had the little nub come out, like maybe there on the visor, and so that way it held up. But, like, or just give us two different types of helmets. Because, like, especially here, right? You could have the 501st helmet with the top holes, and then you could have, or for the monobinocular, and then you could have the 501st helmet with the bottom holes for the antenna. You could have done that, but they didn't, and that's on Lego. But, oh well.
They were and gave all the clones a pair of them. This frustrated so many different content creators at the time, including their devoted fan bases, because the clones simply looked bad to them and they only wanted holes on the clones that needed them, like commanders. This began a giant push by fans for Lego to change something that they had already come out and said they would be keeping. Shortly.
So a couple of things there. It's weird to say that this like really upset content creators and their audiences. It really upset people. Like that. I don't know why we're viewing everything through this lens of content creators and their audiences. Like as if as if, oh yeah, like these people, they can't make up their minds. They have to wait until their favorite content creator tells them the opinion that they're to adopt. It's like, or the more logical explanation, they just didn't like it either. And like they thought it was a problem as well. And so, yeah, they're going to be vocal about it because they think it's a problem. And it's also weird to just blanket say, oh, yeah, well, Lego said that they're not going to change it, so why be upset? It's like, if anything, that's more of a reason to be upset. If Lego makes a bad decision, and then they say, no, we thought that was a good decision, and we're sticking by it, that's called doubling down. And, that should be a reason to be upset. If you feel that it's a mistake, what they did, then, yeah, them doubling down should not be reassuring. Again, not a hard concept, not sure why he's making it into such a hard concept, but we'll continue on.
After this battle pack came out, the Star Wars team in Denmark was interviewed and asked why the holes were placed where they were. They assured the fan base that there was a good reason for it and actually went into detail about their reasoning. Personally, I don't even think they had to go as deep as they did.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, he does not go into their reasoning in this video, which is fine, because I don't really care. You know, I'm sure their reasoning is that it looks accurate for the visors, which it does. Like, you know, as far as putting visors in the helmet goes, it does look accurate. But it looks really bad with antennas, and it looks really bad without accessories. So, like, you know, like that's kind of the problem there. Is that, like, sure, yeah, there are reasons to put the holes where they did. There are also a lot of reasons not to put the holes where they did. And that's where the conversation lies. And so, it feels really weird to just breeze by that as, oh, well, they said they had a reason. It's like, yeah, I'm sure they did. Like, you know, I'm sure they didn't do it at random. But, like, you know, just because they had a reason doesn't make it a good one. Like, you know, or it doesn't mean that you can't have reasons to do the opposite or to not do it, you know. But it's just, again, it feels very limited in the thought process here.
Did for the explanation, because at the end of the day, I believe they tried to make a clone as accurate looking as possible, but they had to go what was best for them. It's hard for me to imagine the design team drilling some holes into the helmet first try and saying to themselves, it's good enough, and hoping their fans would like them. That would be...
I mean, I wouldn't say that's exactly what they did. I would say they designed it for Commander Cody, and then realized, oh, well, like, you know, because it's like, no, I think it was an afterthought for how does the visor or the rangefinder, how does that fit in? Because I'm sure they designed it for the visor, and I'm sure they designed the mono binoculars for that. You know, and that's fine. Those accessories look good in the helmet holes. However, the helmet holes on their own and the rangefinder, they look bad. Like, you know, that's okay to say that both of those things can exist. Like, you know, no one should have a problem with that. You know, the thing that I kind of want to talk about with this response is the fact that it seems like so many people have this weird perception that the second you say anything negative means that automatically all you're doing is saying negative things. Like, you know, it's like, oh, that's not the case. And also, I don't want to live in, like, a Lego space where all people say are positive things. Because, you know, if everyone says that, like, oh, yeah, this is a problem, but, like, I don't care. Or, like, oh, yeah, that's a problem, but I'm just glad we're getting clone troopers, so I'm going to buy as many, like, battle packs as I can. You know, it's like, oh, okay, like, I guess we're not going to get good products, you know. Like, and for reference, I've bought a lot of the Clones versus Droids battle pack. I also went on Bricklink and bought a lot of mono binoculars. But, like, you know, it doesn't bother me that much, but I'm also perfectly fine with saying it is a problem. I'm perfectly fine with other people saying it's a problem. Like, it shouldn't be that big of a deal to say, hey, yeah, this doesn't look good. Like, you know, it is a problem. It doesn't work with the rangefinder. It doesn't work without accessories. Like, it looks bad in either of those cases. That's perfectly okay. You know, and it's perfectly okay to say, well, it looks great with the visors. It does. Cool. Like, feels really weird to draw this weird dichotomy of, oh yeah, well, if you don't like it, then you hate it, absolutely, and all you can do is be negative. Like, it's like, that's really weird, but whatever.
Be bad for business and their sales. I've seen a lot of comments on my videos and a ton of others saying that this is what happened and the team is just being lazy. Listen, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but don't come attacking mine just because it differs from yours. That's
So, and again, I mean, you presented your opinion, someone disagrees, they're gonna state that they disagree. Like, I don't I don't know what this is, this really limited mindset of, well, yeah, I get to state my opinion and then no one can respond. And if you have an opinion that differs from mine, that's okay, but just don't respond. Don't talk to me. It's like, oh wow, that seems like you're really trying to live in an echo chamber there. That's not a great worldview to have. You should probably try and expand and learn from different perspectives rather than keeping to your own. But okay, whatever. Like, whatever floats your boat, pal.
where things really get negative in the community. I've also seen firsthand examples of this in my comment sections when I talk about cloth versus printed waist capes. People calling me a Lego shill or saying that my opinion doesn't matter just because I disagree with the more popular one. If you don't know,
So, again, it's like, well, a Lego shill depends on, are you just promoting the product? Because if you are, and like if you're saying that, like, oh yeah, the printed waist capes, they're great, they're so amazing that you should go out and buy this product, it's like, oh yeah, I mean, that does feel a bit shilly, right? Where it's like, surely you could be like, oh yeah, I like the Coruscant Guard gunship, but the printed waist capes are a detractor. Like, that should be perfectly fine to say, but if you're saying, no, the printed waist capes are the reason why you should buy this, it's so perfect, 10 out of 10, it could not be better, then I mean, yeah, people are going to call you a shill for that. Like, that doesn't seem too complicated. Like, but whatever.
Lego used to use cloth waist capes on clones, but now they print them on clone figures' legs. I don't think this is a perfect method, as the print could be way better and at least 360 degrees around, but I understand Lego's.
See, and like, that's a perfectly fine thing to say. Like, so it's like, yeah, like, would I call you a shill because you said that? No. But, if you said that, like, oh yeah, they're perfect, then yeah, like, I probably would call you a shill. And like, and that's like, yeah, I mean, if you put that perspective in a video, yeah, someone's going to respond with that and be like, hey, shill, like,
His reasoning for doing it. According to them, cloth waist capes fray over time with play and printed ones don't. For a company.
See, and he says according to them, which, I mean, maybe he is a part of LAN, maybe he, like, has an email with them, but I don't know. I've never seen Lego actually say that that's the reason. Like, I've never seen Lego give a reason for why the waist capes are printed now. I've seen a lot of people try and say that, oh, the waist capes frayed over time. I mean, that really hasn't been the experience for me. Like, I know some of the older Star Wars capes, those frayed over time. It didn't result in this, like, period of time where no minifigure had a cape. They just improved the capes over time. And it's weird that he uses the clip from M&R Productions where M&R is literally debunking the the theory that you could not sit a figure down with the waist cape. I mean, like, that's a weird clip to use for that, because it kind of goes against your point. But, I guess that's par for the course for a video essay to include something that goes against their point in the footage. Yeah, we'll just continue on.
That's trying to be the premium in the space that they're in, of course they would want their minifigures to hold up good over time. But that's my opinion, and I hope that you would have one that you're passionate about too. I think we as a...
See, and again, it's like, what? Yeah, I would certainly hope that if you've chosen to hold an opinion, you would be relatively passionate about it, But, again, like, it's my opinion, bro. It can still be wrong, bro. Like, I hate this sentiment that, oh, well, because it's my opinion, you can't attack it. It's like, of course I can. It's like, everything that we say, like, every position we hold is an opinion, Oftentimes those are, like, when I say the earth is round, that is an opinion. It's backed up by fact, but at the end of the day, it is an opinion. So it's like, well, yeah, it is a factually accurate opinion, but, like, that doesn't mean that people can't disagree with it. And, like, if you present facts that, somehow prove that the earth is flat or whatever, like, I'd be, you don't have those facts. Let's be clear about that. The earth is round, but, like, I'd be open, I guess, to, like, hearing out your argument. But if hypothetically we lived in the world where the earth actually was flat and somebody went up into space and took a picture of it and, like, was presenting that as a fact, and, like, somehow we could actually believe that this was a real photograph that was not doctored in any way, then, like, yeah, my opinion that the earth is round would suddenly become wrong. Like, and it doesn't change the fact that it was my opinion all throughout that process. Like, I just really, I hate that people hide behind the shield of, well, it's my opinion. It just feels like you don't actually understand what an opinion is, because it's like, well, yeah, every position you hold is an opinion, whether it's based on fact or whether it's subjective. Like, every position you hold is an opinion and is subject to being disagreed with. Like, that's just how opinions work.
Community need to be better about not blindly accepting someone else's thinking on the internet and then going after those who don't do that same thing or share the same opinion. Also,
see, and again, like, this weird mindset of, oh yeah, it's all the content creators. They're the ones that are causing this negativity. It's like, no, people are making up their own mind, man. Like, I don't know why, because that feels like a really disingenuous position to hold at that point. Like, instead of engaging with the people in your comments or whatever as, like, good faith actors, you're going, oh, well, you got your opinion from some content creator. Like, like, it's not even your opinion. Why do you even hold it? It's like, oh, man, like, I think I would much rather prefer you engaged in good faith. And, when someone states that, like, X position is their position, maybe take their word for that. Like, maybe actually try and go over the argument that they're presenting rather than going, oh, well, it's not your position, so I can just dismiss it now because it's someone else's position. Cool. You haven't actually addressed, like, any of the points of that position. You've just gone, oh, well, it belongs to someone else, so now I don't have to validate your argument. Like, it's just such a bizarre position to hold, and I really I don't understand it.
So, voting with your wallet is always the best way to be heard. So, the next time you don't like something, practice not buying it and having your voice really heard. Before moving on to my thoughts about.
So, again, practice not buying it and having your voice really heard. You know what would maybe help your voice be heard? Like, just saying hypothetically, I'm a content creator, right? And, let's say hypothetically, I review Lego sets on the regular. I am creating content, but that's not really what I do here. Like, I don't buy a set a week and review the new set, and like, I don't typically do new set reviews. I've done a couple, but honestly, there are so many people that will do it way better than I will that I don't really have an interest in doing it. Um, but let's say hypothetically that is what I did. If I thought that a set was bad, if I believed that people should vote with their wallet and not buy it, I should tell people that. Like, that would be making my voice heard, would be to actually tell people, hey, I don't believe this is a good product. You should not buy this. Like, and that's perfectly fine. I don't, that is not being too negative or being toxically negative. What would be toxically positive is if you said, oh yeah, everyone should buy every set ever because they're all amazing. Like, which I don't think is what he's doing here necessarily, but saying that, well, yeah, if you don't like something, like if you don't like a set, then, you should just not buy it and keep that to yourself. Like, it's like, oh, I think, like, no, that's crossing the line. Like, we're edging into toxic positivity area where, like, no, we need to be able to say that, like, it's okay to be negative. Like, it's okay. Like, if you think that a set is really good and so you want to make a video on it and tell people to buy it, then it should be perfectly acceptable if someone thinks a set is bad that they can make a video and tell people not to buy it. Both of those are perfectly acceptable, and guess what? As much as you want to try and, like, go with this weird narrative that, oh yeah, well, everyone just gets their opinion from their content creator and they can't think for themselves. It's like, no, everyone does think for themselves. When they go to check out, they think for themselves. Like, it's not a matter of, oh yeah, their content creator brainwashed them into not buying the new clone battle pack. And, if only they had bought more Ahsoka clone battle packs, then we would be getting more Ahsoka clones. Like, but they were brainwashed by their content creator not to go buy those. It's like, no, people chose not to. Like, that's it. That's the long and short of the matter. Like,
About Bricks and Minifigs and the LEGO Ambassador Network, I want to take a moment to highlight a product that you should practice buying because they're the sponsor.
So we're going to skip past this
as well
sponsor.
as own display.
I'm sure they're great.
My display site as well as
I don't really care.
Online order. On the topic of voting with your wallet, let's take a look at Bricks and Minifigs, who's received negativity from some LEGO Star Wars fans. This franchise, more than ever, will live in.
I do think it's weird to frame it as negativity from Lego Star Wars fans. Again, like, these weird, like, framing narratives where it's like, no, it's received negativity, period. Like, you don't need to include the caveat from Lego fans or from Lego Star Wars fans. Like, you don't need to include those. It's received negativity, period. I mean, I would say from people, but, like, that would be as far as a, like, caveat as I would include. But yeah, it seems weird to say from Lego Star Wars fans, especially because he mentions Lego Harry Potter here, and it's like, well, so those two things aren't necessarily the same. They could be, but I don't know why you, categorize
and die by
it
people's
that way.
wallets, and I'm happy to say that it's currently thriving. Bricks and Minifigs, or BAM for short, buys, sells, and trades Lego. It can be new in box sets, retired build sets, minifigures, minifigure pieces, you name it, they probably have it. It is a franchise, which means there are stores all over the US ran by regular Lego fans like you and I. They actually just opened up their 100th store in Arizona and have many more on the way. In California alone, we have 17 or so stores, and I have 14 near me. And if you've seen any of my YouTube shorts, you've definitely seen a couple of my visits to the ones local to me. I love going.
So that's a pretty fair description of bricks and minifigs. We have 4 here in Utah. So I mean, they are what they are. But so yeah, we'll go ahead and just sort of continue. And because now he's going to give us his reasons for going to Bricks and Minifigs. I do go to Bricks and Minifigs. I've actually made that public in, I believe it was the video that I reviewed the Avatar 2 sets. Or the builds at least, because I got those from Bricks and Minifigs for relatively cheap. I think it can be a good place to find good deals, but I don't think that necessarily negates the criticism of it, but we'll get to that.
Going in, selling or trading my old stuff, and making content about it. If you click on the comments of any of these videos I've made, you'll see a lot of negative comments made about their pricing. I've read comments.
So, and again, like, this is a weird, like, almost feels a little disingenuous point here, because the fact of the matter is that most of his shorts that are like going to Bricks and Minifigs, at least the ones that I've seen, whenever he trades something in and then gets something else, he ends it with, "Oh, like, did I get a good deal or not? Let me know in the comments." And it's like, okay, yeah, so, like, people, like, obviously this is, like, making a joke, but, I guess this is his girlfriend. Yeah, like this comment, "If you think I should break up with him because of this trade," and, like, it's like, oh, it's like, and it's like the fact that, she got 1,046 likes, and then, is like, obviously it's all in jest, but, he got 51 likes, like, oh, that's weird. And, like, I guess this is supposed to be an underline. There are different ways of doing that don't cover up how many likes, but I would guess that that's a 2, a 4, and a 4. Then likes. So, again, another 240 likes, presumably, for "I didn't know they had stores for failed abortions," which, again, like, it's made in jest. Like, I'm sorry, but if you can't handle that, then, like, yeah, maybe the internet isn't the place for you. Like, like, I'm sorry, but, like, yeah, if you can't handle that, like, people are gonna phrase "you're stupid" in very creative ways, then, like, yeah, maybe the internet isn't the place for you. But again, like, if you asked, "Did I get a good deal or not?" and people say no, then you can't sit there and go, "Oh, why are so many people telling me I got ripped off?" Like, because you asked them to. So, like, if all you want is for people to say, "Great find, man, good deal, bro," like, then, just, like, rephrase it as, "Tell me in the comments how good of a deal you think I got," or tell me in the comments if you think this set is really cool. Like, even those can have negative responses, but like, that's more along the lines of what you want. Like, but if you phrase it as, let me know if I got a good deal or not, people are going to let you know if you got a good deal or if you did not. Like, that's how that works.
Comments telling me I'm an idiot to shop there, or that these stores scam everyone who walks in. Again, everyone is entitled to their opinion, yes, but I'm everyone who walks in. Again, everyone is an idiot to shop there, or that.
Sorry, I don't know why my spacebar wasn't working there, but it's like, this should be pretty, evocative, because he's circled this one, but I mean, let's look at all the comments in this screenshot. Every time he goes here, I just know he's going to make a horrible choice. It's like, oh, yep, and that has 1.8k likes. Versus this comment, which he's highlighted, that has 364 likes, that says, dude should be in the Guinness Book of World Records for getting scammed by a Bricks and Minifigs the most number of times. It's like, well, I mean, yeah, man, like, I don't... Again, if you're asking people, did I get a good deal or not, they're gonna let you know. Like, and then, for more context, actually, this comment, that set is worth 150 or 140 out of box and in good condition. They should have given you at least $90 store credit. Instead, they gave you a $55 minifigure. At least this is better than last time. Now, I don't know what they're referencing by last time, but I mean, yeah, if the set is worth $150 or even $140, and they give you $55, I mean, yeah, that's a bad deal. You've lost like $100 or $90 or $85. Like, yeah, that's a bad deal, man. Like, and if you ask people, did I get a good deal or not, they're gonna let you know.
These stores scam everyone who walks in. Again, everyone is entitled to their opinion, yes, but I want to take a moment to defend BAM's business model and hopefully shed some light on why some of these negative comments don't have any ground to stand.
Man, I don't know why my spacebar suddenly just stopped working, but, again, the opinion thing, man, like, everyone is entitled to their opinion. Yeah, and everyone is entitled to disagree with opinions and to voice that. Like, it's like, just because people state their opinion, I wouldn't say that means that you can't make this video. Like, of course you can. Like, that's the whole point of discourse. Like, I really don't understand this weird sentiment that people seem to have where, like, oh, a conversation is, I like X. Oh, I didn't like X. Okay, on to the next conversation. It's like, no. That's where the conversation starts. Like, because I don't know, I guess, like, the modern term for it is, like, main character syndrome or whatever. But, like, I feel like people need to understand that you don't exist in someone else's head. Like, like, you cannot read their mind and they can't read yours. So if you disagree on something, that is where the conversation begins. That is where you discuss why you hold the position that you do. And, like, from there, from explaining your reasoning, that will allow someone to potentially come to your position or potentially be able to give you more information that might lead you to adopting their position, or, you may not, neither one of you may change your positions, but you will at least come out having a better understanding of why they hold a different position than you. Like, that's the whole point of conversation, and I don't really understand where this, like, started to crop up, but I really think it needs to stop. Like, I hate the idea that, oh, well, like, if we disagree on something, then we should just not talk about it, because that could make us like, we could be negative when we like start disagreeing with each other. It's like, okay, cool, I don't care. Like, if that's what we're gonna like put it to, that like, oh well, like you're gonna be negative if you disagree with me. Cool, yeah, I'm gonna be negative then. And I want you to be negative if you disagree with me. Like, it's like I don't really care about being negative at that point. I don't want to live in an echo chamber. Like, and I would hope that other people don't want to either, but we'll see.
On in the first place. First of all, BAM is basically like a pawn shop for Lego. You bring in an item, the store will offer you a portion of what it's worth, and then they will resell it at a higher price than what they bought it for to make a profit.
Not like a pawn shop, because a pawn shop thrives on the business of pawning things, where they will give people, I believe it's, and again, this is my knowledge from the History Channel here, but they will give people less than an item is worth, significantly less, to hold on to it for a period of time, um, or at least when they pawn it. You can choose to just sell your item, which I believe will give you more money, but the reason why pawn shops thrive is pawning things, because they can give people significantly less than what something is worth, but if they don't pay that back in the period of time, then the pawn shop gets to sell whatever that person pawned. And so then they make a huge profit margin on that. Bricks and Minifigs doesn't do that. At least the ones in Utah don't. I kind of doubt the ones in California do. But it's more comparable to GameStop. You can see how well that's going. Again, I shop at Bricks and Minifigs. I don't sell to them. I've sold to them a couple times when I was younger. And and sometimes it's more of a convenience thing. But like, which I think is fine. If you choose to sell to them, that's fine. But like, understand that you're definitely not getting like what it's worth. But like, as far as, because I did sell them a like new in box. It was like a really old like Lego Racers set. It wasn't worth much, but I'm pretty sure they gave me pretty close to the market value on that. Um, but so I mean, it depends always. But it's a weird. I wouldn't compare it to a pawn shop, like, and I think you can get a lot of good deals buying there, but as far as selling, you're gonna have a lot harder time.
Couple very important variables to keep in mind when judging BAM's pricing are their space limitations, customers' buying habits, and the overall cost of upkeep. That includes.
So, all three of those are reasons from the retailer end why they would give you the offer they do. There is not a reason from the whatchamacallit, the customer end, or the seller end. Like, that is not a reason to go ahead and like sell to them. Like, none of those impact, because like, if I'm going to sell my set, I don't frankly care how much shelf space Bricks and Minifigs has. Like, I really could care less. Like, I don't care what their customers' buying habits are. What I'm caring about as the seller is how much I could get for it, which is what Bricks and Minifigs is caring about as well. I understand that, but like, it feels really weird to defend, like, oh, this is why they gave you a lowball offer. Cool, man. Doesn't change the fact that it's a lowball offer. Like, You know, like that's not how that works. But
Includes everyday things like paying rent, paying the employees, and the franchise fee that comes with owning the store. With all this in mind, it's no secret that they'll offer you less money for a Harry Potter set valued at $100 than they would a Star Wars set valued at $100. This is simply because LEGO Star Wars sells like crazy and LEGO Harry Potter doesn't. Similarly, if you bring in a couple of random figures that are less likely to sell right away and just take up space, they'll most likely offer you less money for them than they would if you brought in a couple of cheap clone troopers that they'll sell in a few hours. This is pretty much common knowledge, and they'll be upfront about that in the trade-in or buying process. But you want to know what the most beautiful thing about a store like Bricks and Minifigs is to me? No one's expecting you to walk in there and do a trade or deal every time. If you want the best deal for your old Lego, go ahead and sell it online. Doing so will take you way more time and effort, but you'll get the most for your money. I enjoy selling my old stuff at BAM because I can save my valuable time and make some fun content that does well for you guys. I also feel good supporting.
see, and again, I like, you know, that's cool. I guess if you've like if that really, if you feel um that that works for you, um like that's really neat and all. But I don't like you know, like you, it feels weird to present eBay as the only way to like sell your sets other than BAM, because like there are lots of other places, Bricklink, Brickowl, like I'm sure there's so many that I don't know of. Mercari, they take less than Bricks and Minifigs, or at least they'll give you more than Bricks and Minifigs would. Um, Here we have classifieds that um, the like local news that runs that, they have an app, and so you can do that all through online, and they don't charge any fees. It's all free. So I mean, like, yeah, I it feels really weird to present it as, oh well, you can either sell the Bricks and Minifigs, or you can go through all this hassle with eBay. It's like, well, okay, or you could sell anywhere else. Like there's so many different options. You could hold a yard sale. Like, you know, it's like I don't know, man. It seems really weird to phrase it that way.
Supporting a small business that really gives back to the community with a great event space and free community gatherings like AFOL nights. The people making these negative comments on my videos or anyone else's will oftentimes just see the price in front of them or the value they got for the trade without thinking of these crucial small details.
I'm sure that the people are like, you know, again, let's go to the comment that he put up where he got $55 worth of value from 150 to $140 of value. Um, I mean, if you really think that you saved that much time, uh, like, you know, I kind of doubt it. Like, you know, I like let's, you know, let's put it at like, you know, even if we do $20 an hour, you know, like, and that's still what, 5 hours worth of time that you think you've saved rather than selling it on eBay. Like, you know, it's like I just I don't know about that. Like, you know, but okay, I guess if that's really what you believe, then like good for you. But I mean, and again, these people only like see a number in front of them, and then they just want to be negative. It's like you asked if you were getting a good deal or not. They're gonna respond. They're gonna let you know. Like that. So simple, man.
So, I think it's really good to be able to discuss the pros and cons of a LEGO resale store like Bricks and Minifigures, but when it comes down to it and people are doing less discussing and more just bashing on a person,
Again, you asked, man. Like the answer for who asked is literally you. It's literally you, bro. You asked. Like, I don't, it's like, oh, why aren't people discussing this? It's like, because you asked. You started the discussion. They responded. Now you're acting like, oh, why are they just being negative? Like, you asked them, did I get a good deal or not? And they're saying, no, man, you got ripped off. And then you're going, oh, why are they being so negative? Like, it's like, man, like, introspection, it's a really cool thing that humans can do. You might want to try it sometime. Like, come on, man.
For supporting them in the first place, then I think that's where we can see a little too much negativity in the community. Now, let's move on to the Lego ambassador.
And again, I mean, a little too much negativity in the community. No, I think it would be too much positivity if everyone was like, wow, man, that's really cool that you're happy. Like, I'm glad that you did that. I'm not going to talk about whether or not that was a good deal, even though you asked me directly to talk about whether or not that was a good deal. Like, it's like, no, that would definitely classify as, like, being too, like, toxically positive. So yeah, but we'll move into the final topic here, with about, like, what, a minute, 18 seconds left, for the Lego Ambassador Network.
Ambassador Network, otherwise known as LAN. The most common narrative around LAN ambassadors is that they will do and say anything Lego tells them, so they will keep getting free stuff. Because I'm an ambassador for them, I can actually tell you that this is far from the truth. Go ahead and think what you ambassador and say any.
So obviously, bro is brainwashed by a Lego company. That's the one that he wants us to go for. This one up here, the problem I have with helmet holes is the fact that there's a second pair of holes as well. I'd be perfectly fine with it if there was one set, because those are the bits the equipment canonically attaches to, and then does not continue. Then someone points out same print, which presumably, with this being the image on the screen, he's commenting on that this is the same print as the 2014 version, which was not accurate. But I don't know. That's pure speculation on my part. And then the scroll bar here is going to make this a little hard to see, but if they do keep printed waist capes, I just want Lego to make the print go all around the legs, which seems pretty fair. But as far as LAN members being bought and paid for, yes. Like, I don't think they're specifically bought and paid for, but in much the same way that a movie critic is not bought and paid for. However, if you say, yeah, this is trash, like, I'm sure all the movie critics that, rightfully criticized Madam Web, I'm sure they're not exactly going to be first on Sony's list of people to invite to the Kraven the Hunter premiere, right? Like, that's fine. Like, Sony's whole, like, their whole point in inviting people to premieres and stuff is to get them to promote their movie. If they promote it by saying, yeah, it's really bad, you shouldn't go see it, then yeah, they probably don't want that person promoting their product. Same thing goes with the Lego Ambassador Network. If we were to compare or to complain about all the instances of the helmet holes, let's start with the ATT, right? If we say, oh yeah, like, great for Commander Cody, bad for everyone else. Then the 501st Specialist Pack, great for visors and monobinoculars, bad for the other, like, settings. Then the Ahsoka Battle Pack, bad. Like, the gunship, bad. Like, and then it comes around to Lego's looking to promote the Clones versus Battle Droids battle pack, yeah, they're probably not going to be super incentivized to send that one out for free to the person who said that helmet holes are bad the last 5 times that they've been in sets. Like, and it's like, yeah, and that's fine on the Lego Group's part. Their whole goal is to promote their products. Like, their whole goal is to sell their products, and it's fine. But like, I don't, it's like, well, yeah, there's a reason why people don't exactly trust LAN members. It's because of the fact that they just say positive things. So if you want a positive review of the set, yeah, they're probably great. Like, but like, if you want an actual measured response, probably try and find a non-LAN associated like reviewer, like Jangbricks, for example. And it's not that LAN reviewers can't do really good reviews. Like I really like Cheesy Studios. He's a LAN reviewer, and sometimes he can be negative, which I think is really cool. But like, if you never want that question of whether or not the response is being measured, then like, yeah, go somewhere where they don't have an incentive to be positive for positivity's sake. And like that's really all people are saying when they say that like LAN members are shills. Which I mean, again, like if you want to disprove them as part of the LAN, what would be a great way to do that? Like say something negative. Do it, coward. Like come on. Like it's not that hard, but we'll see if in the remaining minute or so if he does that. I kind of doubt it, but my spacebar.
Anything Lego tells them so they will keep getting free stuff. Because I'm an ambassador for them, I can actually tell you that this is far from the truth. Go ahead and think what you will about it. But the fact stands that Lego created this program to support and uplift everyone in the Lego space by giving specific community leaders the assets to do so.
No. They created this program to promote their products. Like, I'm sorry, but like, like as much because I really like Lego. I don't believe for a second that like they do anything that isn't just promoting their products. Like, like I don't believe for a second that like, oh yeah, they really care about the health of the like Lego community. It's like, no, if there was no sense of community in the Lego space, but their sales were higher than ever, I really don't think they'd care. Like, which is fine. They're a business. Like, that's okay. But like, it feels really weird to be like, oh, well, like, Big Lego is always looking out for you. It's like, no, come on, man. Like, they're a corporation. Like, they started the LAN to promote their products. Like that's it. Like it's not that hard, but whatever.
Includes giving their community ambassadors early information about sets that they can then share with their followers, early sets to review, opportunities for community giveaways.
See, yeah, and it's like the community giveaways, I don't know. I haven't personally seen that like that's LAN doing that. I know that like Whatnot does it. And like I personally haven't used Whatnot. I've got enough ways of buying Lego already. I really don't need another one. But yeah, I don't know about the giveaways. And then as far as they give people set information early, yeah, they give people set information months after they could have had it before. But that's fine. Yeah, it's definitely a point in LAN's favor that all their information is outdated by the time they give it to people early. But sure, okay, whatever, man. Whatever you say.
and much more. And as shocking as this might be, LEGO provides all this while requesting that we ambassadors stay as real with them and our followers as possible. They don't want...
Yeah, I'm sure they're not going to ask you to lie, but if you were really negative on every set they sent you, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if, maybe they stopped sending you stuff. Like, that's kind of how that works. Like, their whole goal here is just to promote their products. If you're not promoting their product, they're probably not going to send you their product. Like, it's not that hard to understand.
Want us LEGO ambassadors to be fake. Take it from me. I am telling you, I am not a shill. I can say what I want. The fact that...
Say something negative. Do it. Do it. Do it, coward. Come on. You're so close. We've got 25 seconds left. You can do it. I believe in you. Say something negative. Prove your point.
That LAN is for the LEGO community, but people decide to instantly hate the members, moderators, and their content for no reason other than the opinions they hear about them from different sources on...
I don't know about that. Again, we're going back to this weird, people can't form their own opinions. They get opinions from other people, and then they, come here and they spur them at me, even though they haven't listened to what I've been saying. Like, well, guess what? This video, I've gone in depth through your video. We're at, an hour and 6 right now? Trust me, I've watched your video. The proof is all here. I'm responding to what you're saying. And, I don't know, man, I don't think people really hate the members of LAN so much as they don't trust them. I think those are two very different things, where it's I'm going to be very skeptical of a LAN review of a set. Ultimately, that's kind of the nice thing about LEGO sets as opposed to, movies or video games, is that when someone does a review of a LEGO set, I can pretty easily see what's there for myself. And so that doesn't really change from person to person. Whereas when someone reviews a movie, they can say that it was about all this stuff that it really wasn't, and they can say how great the Marvels was or whatever. And, maybe that's not the case, but but with LEGO, it's pretty easy to see that. However, unfortunately with LAN reviews, it seems like a lot of the time it can be a mid set or a bad set, and it'll still be the greatest set of all time because it's the new release thing and I'm reviewing it 2 weeks before it comes out. The embargo date just dropped, and so all of the LAN reviews go up at the same time, and it feels very corporate to a lot of people, which it's that is what it is. And so you're not really going to change that by being trust me, I'm being really honest with you, bro. They want me to be honest. So that's why I'm not going to say anything negative in the next 14 seconds, 15 seconds of this video. But okay, sure.
Online definitely tells me that there's too much negativity in the space. Sharing thoughts and opinions in the LEGO Star Wars space is not bad at all. It's actually really good, but
That's good. I believe that too. I don't like the fact that there's a but at the end of that sentence. Let's see where it goes. We've got 5 seconds left. What's he gonna say? Is he gonna say anything negative about a product? I don't think so.
So important to remember at the end of the day that they're just that and not facts.
Great. He ended it with, well, but it's my opinion, bro. Which, I've been over a lot in this video. But yeah, it's my opinion, bro, is not exactly a great way of countering anything like that. That's really bad. But so yeah, so this was kind of long. You know, sure enough, EFAP style, we went long. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed. Remember to subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Smash the like button on all these videos. But no, seriously. But if you've made it to this point, I really hope that you gained a lot from my perspective on this. And I'm sure that you're forming your own perspective and not just copying mine because I'm your favorite or content creator. But so yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.